Hi, CDA candidates. This is week 6, and I thought that I would do a screencast to help you not only make sure that you are submitting your assignments correctly, but that you're able to view the responses that Jane and I have put in there for you. This week, I'm going to flip between two screens. One is the student screen, and one is the screen that, as an instructor, we get to see. So I thought maybe sharing that with you would help you to make sure that you are confident when turning in your assignment. So the screen that you have in front of you is the student view, which looks similar to what you have on your screen. And I'm going to pretend that I'm going to turn in competency statement 5. It is not due yet. I don't want you to panic, but I thought I would pick one that is not even something that would show anybody's grades. So I'm going to pretend that my competency statement 5 is complete, and I'm going to turn it in. I click on here. And the first confusing thing that is this big box that it looks like you have to write something in there. You don't have to write anything at all. Some students like to say something like enjoyed this. I hope my paper is okay. But you don't have to put anything in there, but some people do. What we don't want you to do is type in your whole competency statement in this section. You are already attaching the file, so you do not need to type it into or cut and paste it into this box. It is misleading because that box is kind of saying put something in here. So if you feel better putting a little note to Jane or I, that's fine. But I'm going to go ahead and turn in my competency statement 5 here. You can see it shows up here. Another confusing thing that we've heard from some students is this do not attach. The only time you would check that is if you uploaded the wrong one and you would say okay and you would reattach something else. In this case, I did attach the correct assignment, and then I'm going to go down here and hit submit. And the hardest thing is waiting for this little window here to stop turning long enough to let you know that your paper has been submitted. And I understand that this does take a long time depending on your internet speed, depending on the time of day. Here right now at the University of Cincinnati, it's kind of a busy time of day, so sometimes the Blackboard site can move a lot slowly. While this is still uploading, I'm going to take a few minutes to talk to you about the grading of the competency statements. The competency statements are the backbone of your professional portfolio, and we really want you to be as successful as you can be on this assignment. So you might be disappointed with your very first grade that you received on your competency statement 6. And that is very normal because many of you have not written a paper in a while. So, and plus you're trying to understand what the expectations are that Jane and I have for you as well. So if you got a score lower than 15, do not worry. We're going to allow you time to submit other corrections based on the feedback that we're giving you through the assignment tab, which I'm going to show you here in a minute. So you may continue to submit your paper as many times as you want until it's right, and then you can earn the full 15 points. Unfortunately, if you did not submit your paper on time, it is considered late, and we deduct 20% off of your paper because it is late, and therefore the maximum amount of points on this assignment that you could earn is 12. So I'm speaking of competency statement 6 right now. We did give you 4 extra days on that, so if you submitted your paper correctly by that Thursday, it was not considered late. Now, if you have not completed this assignment, it's not too late because we don't want you to take a 0, but just understand you can submit it as many times as you want until it's correct, but the maximum amount of points you could get then is 12 if it was late, and that goes for all the assignments as well. So the computer now is finished, and waiting long enough shows that here the submission happened. Here was the little blurb that I typed in the window. Enjoyed this. I hope my paper is okay. And you can see here that the file is attached. The other place that you can go to make sure that your assignment has been turned in is when you go to check my grades. You can see here that you have a green exclamation point, and that lets you know that it has been turned in, but it has not been graded yet. What it doesn't show you is if you submitted it 5, 6, 7 times, which some people did because they weren't sure if their paper submitted correctly, it still will only show up as one green exclamation point. However, on my screen, it shows how many times it has been turned in, and I think the record was 22 times. So that's what we're trying to avoid going forward. So I'm going to flip to my screen, the instructor screen, and you can see everybody's names, and I've hidden everybody's grades so you can't see anyone's grades. But I'm going to refresh this screen, and you will see there I get to see a green exclamation point as well, letting me know that the assignment has been turned in. So then I want to show you what Jane and I do once it's been turned in. You can see our screen there. It says view grade details and attempts. If you hit the submit button more than one time, if you hit it 10 times, we will have 10 exclamation points listed here for every one of your papers that have been submitted, and many times they're submitted only seconds apart. We will grade the most, the last one that was submitted, and we will delete all the other ones if they were turned in that way. So I want to show you what it looks like, what we see on our end. Here is the message that it was typed in that big window. It just says, enjoy this. I hope my paper's okay. Those of you that accidentally typed in your competency statement in that box, that's where this ended up being a very, very large section and was not able to be graded. What we do grade though is when your file is attached here. We click on this, we print it out, we write on it, make corrections, make suggestions, and then we go ahead and grade it. So I'm going to go ahead and grade this pretend assignment. And I clicked on the rubric, and there are points that are assigned to all the portions of the competency statement. If you got anything less than the maximum amount of points, you will have a feedback comment. So I'm going to put a comment in here. They didn't, or this paper didn't earn the full points in this section. I'm going to say please include one more observation. And then grammar, spelling, word usage. I'm going to put 2. Please remember to use spell check. And then you can see that the points are automatically totaled. So this paper has a 12 out of 15. And under the feedback section, as the instructor, I'm going to say, please see the attached paper for suggestions. And then I'm going to save that. And I'm going to come in this window. Here's just another place. Please see the rubric and the paper for suggestions. And now I'm going to attach your paper back to you with corrections. And then I press submit, and this might take a few minutes again because the Blackboard's moving a little slow right now. So I will continue to take this time to reiterate how your paper should be written, reminding you that your competency statements need to be less than 500 words. And we appreciate that you put your name at the top of each of your competency statements, because when Jane and I print them out and they don't have names on them, they're very hard to identify who belongs with whose paper. So, but then when you go in to look at your grade, you will see that your grade is on this paper, for example, would be 12 out of 15. You can look through the rubric and see the suggestions that we made, and then we also want you to open up the paper where we have we've written down some suggestions to you of ways that you can change your work. So again, you can submit your corrections to us many times. We will know that a new submission has been turned in when we get another green exclamation point. Your grade will not change until we make the additional corrections, and this might be a process that might take several times going back and forth to do this. You really want to go back and check your assignment tab and your grades frequently. Okay, so in my grade book, I could see that it has been graded. Now let's go back to the student screen, and I'm going to refresh this. now you can see that there's a grade that shows up. Instead of the exclamation point, there is a grade that shows up. We can view the rubric, and on here, like I said, if there are, if you have a perfect score on something, there's no need to necessarily put a comment. But here, where the person got 1 out of 3 points, you can see the feedback that's specific to that. Then down here is feedback maybe specifically to the paper, and we'll exit there. That we click this button here to view the rubric. All right, then if you click on your actual score, that's where you can come down here and see your paper that we have uploaded to you with the corrections on there. So you will open it up, and as always, when you open up things, sometimes they don't automatically pop up. This one is uploading it in the top corner. This is not the actual assignment, so there's no point in reading that. But make sure that when you click open the assignment, sometimes it opens it up in the top right corner, sometimes it opens it up in the bottom left corner. But those will be the suggestions that Jane and I are making so that you can have a score of 15 on your paper. So then you would just come back to the assignment tab again, and you would then upload the corrected paper. So I hope that this tutorial has helped, and that you will feel more confident that when you turn in your paper that it has been turned in correctly. Keep up the great work. The conversations that are happening in the discussion board are very, very rich and very encouraging, and that just continues to build community within the classroom. So I hope that you enjoyed starting to work on your competency statement 4, and as always, your papers will be graded within 7 to 10 days. So I know some of you are still waiting on some of your grades, and could be determined on when you turned in your paper. I know that's really hard with an online course, is waiting for papers to be graded. You've worked so hard at turning them in on time, and waiting for us to grade them is an act of patience. So thank you for being patient with us, and I hope that this video has helped. As always, send me an email or post something in the questions ask here button on our course, and we can help get your questions answered. So I hope you have a great week, and please read the rest of the announcement. There's a couple additional items that I needed to cover on there. Thanks. Have a great week.